FYTB TV. Fuck you talking about TV, nigga, and we ain't horse playing with nobody.
I done put in my work. I done put in my pay. I'm the head of my game. I done put in my pay. I'm the head of my game. I done put in my work. I done put in my pay.
Yo, nigga. Why? Cause I say fuck you talking about and smack you with one, nigga.
I'm the head of my game. I done put in my pay. Wait, that black is the crippy. Getting drunk off the Henny. Loaded semi-automatic. Niggas want a static. Damn, I gotta have it.
That nigga Qua got tired of his ass. You know how the legend of frontin' ass nigga anyway. That was Qua shit.
Listen, trade 8 handling business, flipping headshot right under that block. I leave you laying there over your digits like was coasting when I walk up. Tough toasting, I need a large cup. I don't talk much, boy, I bomb stuff. You better put your kids and baby moms up.
My gun told me that she loved me. Knife said I gotta eat. Walk through life incomplete. Niggas sold his soul, married to the streets. Big finger fucking on the trigger, drinking, living, killer. Can you see the picture? Demon told me nigga shoot him. Off the rip, I started shooting.
Shit, you polluted, cushion a Cuban. Nigga, just pass it, I gotta do it. I ain't really trying to be here long, snuck the long nose in the doings. HK been a shooter, homie, let's run down on this doula. I don't care who he with, what crew he get, I'ma get him got and they knew it.
I done put in my work, I done put in my pay.
Yo. You already know what's up when I'm rolling up. It's your boy Qua, FYTB TV, and you know what the fuck it stand for, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody. Salute to the real right. Shout out to all my queens. Y'all already know. Salute. I see y'all coming through. I see y'all. Salute. What's the word, everybody? We here. I want to talk this Norbes and URL shit real quick. Salute, boy. I see you in the building. Miss New York Nails. I see you, love. How you doing? Yeah, man. I definitely want to talk about this shit, man. This Norbes and URL shit getting nasty. I see some shit. I just was like, hold up. Wait a minute. What the fuck is we doing, man? Yo, but shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Y'all comment and subscribe. Hey, yo, hold up. Did you just say Twerk versus Jazz was just announced? Dead ass? Shit. Hold on, let me get. Hey, yo, Boogie. I didn't know that. Jazz versus Twerk is crazy. Where that's going down at? What card is that? Copy. What card is that? Somebody let me know. You said check EK page. It's up. All right. So I gotta check his on his Twitter, right? Because you know we be on Twitter. I'm gonna have to go check out his Twitter. I did not know Jazz versus Twerk is crazy. Jazz is trying to get it popping out here. He said, y'all niggas think this shit is a game. Nah, shout out to Twerk, shout out to Jazz. That's a fire battle. I wonder if that's going to be in the West somewhere. EK. Well, I don't know. I'm going to go look. But shout out to everybody, man. You said another friend battle? I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie, Jazz don't really play with the fellas, and Twerk don't really always play with the ladies. I will say that. Danny, I don't know what card it is. I'm gonna find out though. You definitely know I'm gonna do that. You said the make-believe card. I didn't hear that. I didn't really want to see. Nah, man, I ain't gonna lie. There's a few different cards where I'm hearing a few different things that behind these scenes. I ain't gonna lie. And there's some battles that y'all gonna like. That's a fact. Probably Homecoming. David Campbell, that's a fact. Oh, shit, my son Bug's in the building. Hey, yo, Boogie, what up?
Hey, yo, what's up? Top of the top. What's
Top
up,
of the
everybody?
top,
How y'all doing?
man. Easy, man. What's popping with you, beloved?
Ain't shit, man. I'm just cooling in my city. You know, regular Douglas.
Regular Douglas, you know something I'm rolling up. Hey, yo, I want to ask you real quick. Shout out to Dr. Roselle White. Dr. Rosie.
Shout out
I
to
was
the
missing
doc.
some of that live last night, man. IQ, salute, family. I missed some of that live last night. That shit was crazy, though. But I wanted to talk about motherfucking just the fact of, do you feel that Norbes is going to be entitled to any money.
I kind of feel like he could win it all or he could lose it all. If I was the judge, I'm thinking up until they say they started the LLC for URL, he's probably entitled based upon him being there in the beginning, helping creating you know, what led to the URL. Anything after that, caffeine, they was already in outs. They was already, you know, not dealings with each other. So that I don't think he's entitled to. Now, whether or not they'll give him half, would they'll do that? That's a long shot. It's a long shot.
I mean, so let me ask you this, because this was something that I found interesting when I was watching last night. When she started talking about the different claims that was still left open and pending.
Right.
And when she got to a part to where she was speaking on as far as that's why they were saying in the transcripts, like, yo, why are we even doing this? Why don't you guys just settle this out instead of doing all of this? Now, and I see you, Achilles, because you're right. Without Norbes to an extent, it's probably no URL to an extent. You might have some,
right.
And I mean, I ain't gonna lie. There's definitely some truth to that. Do y'all feel like Norbes is owed some money? Y'all let me know. Oh, okay. It's gonna be on caffeine. Okay, so Jazz and them was gonna be on caffeine. Okay, but yeah, because I feel like, I mean, I feel like Norbes might get some money. I feel like he might get some money. I don't know how much, but I definitely think he's gonna get a couple dollars, because even the fact that if there's, like, for example, right, they talking about the books. They didn't want to show the books and things of that nature.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a reason why you don't want to show your books, of course. We all know that. You know what I mean? We all know that.
He doesn't have the right to see them because he wasn't a partner. And that's the thing. He never got not one financial statement, which validates we didn't backdoor you saying you was a partner. We blatantly let you know you was never a partner. If his position was always a talent scout, right? And he was there scouting talents, his position had changed once they started gaining notoriety. That's the key right there. His position did change. He started doing more than just scouting talents. So that's where he should have took the mindset to revisit this. Like, you know what? Now we got this up and running. I'm managing. I'm doing more than just grabbing talent. I'm a part of the company. And he didn't. For whatever other business he had going on, he didn't pay attention to this business. And this is where he messed up at. And he has to hold himself accountable.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's something that I honestly feel the same way about. So, Norbes, if you're listening, I think that's where you fucked up at, beloved, because because if you sitting here and we know that you bringing in a lot of talent, right? But why would you make the decision to not make sure the business was right with you and them niggas, since you knew you was bringing shit through? Like, that's the thing I want to ask Norbes. Like, why didn't you? Like, I know he had to think in his mind that, yeah, nigga, I just keep doing what I'm doing, riding out, nigga. Yeah, I'm gonna get higher and higher and higher. I don't think he was doing this shit out of the kindness of his heart, knowing that, you know, he probably was feeling like he deserved more, especially when it started getting wacky. You know what I mean? I feel like the nigga was supposed to make sure every nigga, like, especially the niggas he was managing, like Mav, for example. I don't know if he had a contract with Mav. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it's definitely...
It's obvious he didn't if he's bitter about something. Like, if all of these artists, if you helped build this, you was the cornerstone of it, why aren't these artists under your management, Norbes?
That's the question.
I don't want to hear about nothing else. I don't want to hear about nothing else. You did more to just bring them to your peoples. You also built the building that they walking on. Why are they not under your management?
You want to know what I think, son? I think that it's kind of like I think sometimes niggas really get caught up in trying to be street niggas and real niggas, and that shit is not business.
So therefore, that's
Niggas
his
got to
fault.
get that street mentality out the business world, because nigga, that shit is a different jargon over here. The language is different, and I feel like sometimes we move, and when we conducting ourselves, even though we street niggas or whatever the case may be, we conducting our business, we end up moving with emotion and heart instead of fucking brains.
So think about
Nice
it,
to
Carl. You
meet you.
just
See you
said
in the
it.
building.
But you just said it right there, right? So what happened when Smack Entertainment turned into URL? That street shit was out the window, right? Into this, into a more corporate, a more professional, a more business
You right?
orientated. Like, yeah, that's what he was doing. And he was about to make everything crash. So into a new realm, a new order. You was not in this. Yeah, we appreciate what you did in the beginning, but you almost killed everything. Here, you got paid for your services, right? All right, you out of here. Like, you was never really the person that we had to go to, like, yo, we got to do damage control. He was never that.
But he was somebody that they let fall on the sword for a lot of shit. Does that balance out?
No, Smack fell on the sword. I watched Smack fall on the sword every year. Every year something went down, Smack had to take the blame. And all these artists under Smack, no. You know what I'm saying? You see Smack crying, Norbes? You see him bitching, fucking complaining, my nigga? Get your shit together. The fuck out of here, B. I'm sorry.
Think the most
I'm sorry.
valuable.
I'm sorry. My bad. My apologize. I shouldn't even be cursing.
Man, fuck you, mean you apologize? Stop fucking horse playing with me, nigga.
I'm trying
Hey
to
yo,
my ways. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better.
All right, so do better and answer this one, smart guy. Smart guy, answer this, nigga. Hey yo, do you think that when Dr. Roselle last night brought up the what's this shit called? Fiduciary.
Fiduciary.
When she brought up, when she got to that part, she started cooking.
Yeah.
What can you explain?
Dinner was ready.
Let's get to that. Like, because I kind of understood it, but part of me didn't.
Yeah. I have to do more research on that fiduciary thing. But it seems to me like there was 16 complaints against URL, 11 got thrown out and 5 still remains, which is that and a lot of other things. It has to do with like a case that the judge that's on it had previously did with a group called the Blue Man Group, where he awarded one of the original members compensation for heralding and starting the Blue Group, but towards the big, the big financial success of it, they had a fallout, the other two members, and they refused, they kept him out of the finances. So the judge awarded him that. And I think that's where this kind of comes in. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is where he could win it all or he could lose it all. That's what I'm saying. He's going for it, but he could lose it all because he didn't take care of his business in the beginning before they changed it to URL. That's where he messed up at. Now he if he's trying to complain about he was ousted once they did the LLC, it shouldn't matter if you're ousted once they did the LLC, because all of those artists are already under your management. They can't do nothing. You still gonna get paid. But I don't know what he was doing. I know one thing, he wasn't taking care of this business. I know that for sure. He wasn't.
It sounded like niggas was just taking money and shit and living their best lives. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really standing on.
Right.
Nobody really standing on the business aspect of it, and that's how you get niggas like me that come up taking L's, and niggas like Norbes, and niggas like there's a million of niggas out here like that. That know what I mean, that feel entitled and know they deserve certain shit and know everything and etc. So for me, it was really like, damn, Norbes, if you was if you was there for that first fucking battle, and we gonna get to Harry too, because I want to get to Harry, but it's like Why wouldn't you make sure that these niggas was exclusively locked into you? Because what it looks like happens is that they took all the artists and put them niggas under their LLC to some type of extent, to where they exclusively get their contracts, their battles. Now we own all your shit.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, man. Where
Yeah,
Dr.
what do you mean
Roselle
you don't
when you
know?
need her
That's the
ass?
What do you mean you don't know? That's the reality. That's what happened, Qua. That ain't no fairy tale. That's not nothing on opinion. They took every last artist away from Smack and away from Norbes, and that's just that. That's just that. I don't care what nobody say. It changed from Smack Entertainment to URL.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
And,
reality.
and when it turned into that and they decided to go corporate, that's when everything changed. Hey, yo, what's up with this taxes shit I'm hearing about, boy?
You got to pay your taxes, man. Like, listen, this is one thing that I always keep in mind with Quan. I let him know you successful. You're going to be successful, but the business has to come first, because all of this money that they getting on YouTube, if you're not paying your taxes and then you start to blow up, you're going to forget about paying that taxes, and then you're going to go to jail. So, like, so future reference, all you guys take care of your business first and then come out and create. Like, you know,
Yo,
believe
I
that
feel
you're
like
going to be
that's
successful.
Hey, yo, Bugs, you up? Yo, I feel like that's the biggest part of this whole shit that I'm learning from just everybody dealing with this battle rap culture. It seems like everybody need to really just tighten up on their business. Let this shit be a lesson to everybody.
Business
Let's
first.
let's not let niggas continue to horseplay with us. Let us figure out the figure outs and learn how to get the business right. Make sure our shit, and not everybody, because there's a million people in the culture that actually got their shit together. But for those like me, okay, that's still in them figure out stages and taking care of things and getting the print and all that, we got to take this shit more seriously. Because what we doing is that we playing ourselves out of our worth and our hard work and our everything. And the more we continue to do that shit, the more niggas can get advantages taken of. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can't if you don't know, you don't know. And sometimes niggas get caught up in motherfucking doing business, know what I mean, with a heart and being like, nah, that's my nigga, man. Nigga, man, fuck that. You ain't my nigga that much, nigga. Let's get this business right. You still my nigga though. But let's get this right. And I think niggas really need to start moving on that type of time, son. Protect themselves.
I don't want them to think that now with all the evidence has come out, it seems like as the success got bigger, he got big-headed and into him beefing with Chico. You understand? Like, so it's like we're trying to make this business and we're trying to keep it, but you're just going off doing whatever you're doing, and that becomes a conflict of interest too. I mean, listen, that's why I feel like you're just better off doing business by yourself first, and then if you want to do collaborations, by all means, go ahead, you know, but take care of your business first as a man, so then that way when you do bring artists to your peoples, because I'm pretty sure they all was friends at first, your business is taken care of. You don't have to go to court with your friends now because, oh, now y'all successful, I ain't getting nothing. Like, now you look like a bitter ex, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but I feel like I see a lot of this shit happen when I don't want to sit there and say like the business practices is just solely bad, because I feel like everybody got blamed to really take in this situation.
Right.
All the situations with URL.
Right.
I felt like a lot of these niggas gotta own up to the part that they played in, because if niggas was on their shit, niggas wouldn't have been able to get finessed. Same thing for me. I feel like when niggas is on their shit, you can't get played. But
when did the
more
finesse
importantly,
start? When did the finesse start? This is key. When did the finesse start?
Shit, for who? For URL?
Yep.
Shit, man. It seemed like the finesse started. It might have started back at that first battle with Math and Rex. Because if y'all was able to get that battle from grind time, like they saying, and then use that to uplift y'all platform and open the door for y'all to create the URL, Norbes is already on deck with y'all, and he's continuing to move with y'all and all of that. I think that's when the finesse might have started happening, because now look, Norbes might be looking out for them niggas and bringing in new talent, and the whole time them niggas, you know what I mean, for all we know, they're gonna be like, yeah, go get that nigga, yeah, bring him too. Oh,
Right.
I like Shorty.
Right.
You know what I mean? The finesse could have been stepping in right there when they decided to end the Smack Entertainment thing and the whole create the URL.
Yeah, but he was getting paid during that time, right? So that's not when the finesse actually happened. He was being paid for his services. He got paid for his services. Huh?
I said, talk to me then.
All right. So being that he was getting paid for his services, he was getting gate money. I repeat, he was getting gate money too. You can't say that the finesse happened just when he just started messing with them. The finesse happened actually, and it happens a lot when us street dudes get into business and we try to go corporate. The finesse happened when they entered that contract with Caffeine. Then you get your little quarter labs into all of this. Like this is where all of this happens. And then you start to see black dudes snaking each other in this business. You know, once you get involved and then you start doing dealings with these people, you have to start doing their practices as well. Else they're not going to do the dealings with you. So like they did a dealing with them. They gave them a bag, but they said, hey, with this bag, nobody can take these artists off Caffeine. And it was like, if they would have read that, they would have been real niggas and told Caffeine, like, what? Take this Frank stand. You bugging. I don't know. I wasn't there. You understand what I'm saying?
Nah, that's a fact. I get what you're saying, son.
That's when it happened. That's when it happened. That's when ARP, that's when all of this fallout with all of it, that's when it starts. When you start playing these white games with black niggas. Yeah, that part.
I mean that make perfect sense to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The finesse happened.
Like and I see
paid. He was being paid.
And Bunny, I see what you're saying too, Bunny. She said Norbes was left out of the business deal.
Yeah. He was I don't know. He was left out of the business deal because that's what they wanted. He was the original. He was the one who brung them. He could get a finder's fee. Did he get a finder's fee?
I'm sure he got one, nigga. If he was getting gate money and all that, I hope he was getting one.
So no. So peep this, right? Now you getting gate money. You the one who brung all the artists in, and now they about to do another deal. In that deal that they did he get a check for his finder's fee? Because he's also complaining that some of my artists and me, I'm on old videos, he's on Caffeine.
Dr. Roselle, you need to pull up. Come here, Dr. Rosie, because you was cooking last night, girl. But nobody know all that goddamn jogging and shit like that. Now you heard? That's a Fendi. That is a fact. I'm sitting there and before, you know what? I might save that question for later. I'll save that to end it. I really want to get her in the building though, because the hairy part was the most. Yo, that when she mentioned Harry last night, that was what fucked me up. But I said, nah, niggas ain't got Harry involved in this shit. Got that man subpoenaed. Y'all got Harry subpoenaed. So now they got the nigga. No, Dr. Rosie, tell me, was it it was Norbes' team that sent the subpoena to Harry, right? Because if shit, that nigga could be the witness for them niggas to get back into them books, man. Because if they can use him to corroborate any type of story in business dealings from the beginning,
I told you this might be
like, yo, this shit crazy, yo.
It might be a trickle effect, because then the other sponsors might want the books open as well. Like people might feel, Norbes might not be the only one that feel this kind of way. Like, nigga, I deserve a finder's fee too. Where my shit at? Like, pardon my language, but yeah, word. I don't know, man.
Mean, I think one thing for sure, two things for certain we can agree on is that
they should settle. That's what I think. They need to settle, and they need to settle fast, because this is getting way out of hand. It's not going to benefit anybody.
Look what Rosie said, Bugs. She said defendants reached out to Harry and told him he shouldn't give the info. That is crazy. I don't know. That's wild though. Yo, niggas go down for shit like that. That shit might be considered like some type of witness tampering or something. All I know, but I know that's a little.
Yeah. But
because now we dealing with the legal system now.
Yeah, and the business is just different. They'll just award the plaintiff or whatever, you know.
All right, now before we move on real quick, because I definitely had screenshotted this shit last night when she posted that shit. It says, defendants, I'm not going to characterize it as obstruction, but they've certainly reached out to his attorney and suggested that it may not be proper to produce those documents. Now, the fact that this shit is in the transcripts and now we knowing that Harry might have been Harry subpoenaed, this shit looks more wacky now. I said, yo, hold up. These niggas really got Harry all in this shit now. And we all know, nigga, we just watched DNA. Shout out to DNA. We just seen this last post when he was talking about why he felt K-Shine deal wasn't good. And he mentioned, well, not good, but he shouldn't take it because of the fact that, you know, back then it was Harry was doing four events a year. Now, nigga, it's 30 of these shits a year. So, nigga, now it's not signing a 4-year contract and you good to work all year. But now we in a different time to where, nigga, you signed a deal. You might be in an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 nil back, whatever it may be, 5, whatever, 4. And he was like, it's different now.
Yes,
so when I seen that, so when I seen Dr. Rosie post this shit last night, and I seen that Harry was involved, I know Harry was somebody that was actually investing.
Right.
So to see that they got this document in the transcripts, I'm not going to characterize it as obstruction, but they certainly reached out to his attorney and suggested that it may not be proper to produce those documents. That is a clear indication that there's something that niggas don't want divulged. And I got to be real. That shit look wacky. But
no, but also by law too, that if they have no right, you'll be advised by your lawyers and attorneys to make that statement because they have no right. You know, that's what they was basically saying about Norbes. Like, why are we going to give you more financial records when you never had one from beginning? So why we got to open our books for you? That's illegal. And then on top of that, they got other sponsors. So no, they have every right not to disclose it, especially if we're not in partnership. You understand? You have to, if you want it, you got to subpoena me. Like, who you think you is? I'm not just going to do that. Like, that's not proper business. No one would do that, you know? So it got to make sense. It got to make sense first, you know?
She said they believe that Harry knows the amount they made from ticket sales because he was the vendor.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's up to Harry to be if he want to be his man and be his own man and speak on it. You know, that's on him.
No, that's crazy though.
That's true.
But I want to ask y'all this question, and I want everybody in the chat to be honest, be real. We seeing right now that we all know there is a URL hate train out here. There's no lying, there's no debating it. But I want to ask y'all a real question. Do y'all believe that URL has created their own hate train? I want to know what the people think. Do y'all believe that URL built this motherfucking same hate train that they fucking that's on their tail now? I don't know. But it's something to make you think. So I want to know what the people think. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, a lot of things started coming from inside, in-house. Before anything could even get outside, it was inside that was bringing the shit outside.
Is it their fault? But is it their fault that at a time of success, you don't enter an agreement with them properly in business? Are they responsible because you don't understand business? You came into the game wanting to be a professional basketball player, but because you didn't understand the business, you got paid a rookie season salary for 10 years. Is the NBA liable? Like, it comes a point to where you running around, you popping bottles, you living your best life, but you not thinking about your business. And then you wait 10 years later to want to go sue the company. I don't know.
Talk heavy.
After a while, I can't keep blaming URL. Y'all brothers got to start looking at yourselves, man. You know,
And I agree with you 100%, Boogie,
really
because I
do.
see a lot of niggas be running around here, shit. Know what I mean, playing the victim.
Yeah, you can't be a victim, B. They wanted, they listen, the obvious was smack for over 15 years, and I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Blame Smack, blame Smack, blame. Now you know it ain't Smack ain't even got no, he ain't even have shit to do with it. Come to find out, probably in the near future, you're gonna hear Smack like, listen, man, for real, you never know. But I know one thing's for certain, don't blame Smack no more. Y'all been doing that for a decade. It's getting old. Move on. And he ain't got no, he doesn't have the, like, it ain't him. He ain't come up with that contract to leave. That was Caffeine. No, but the obvious was that black man, right? That was the obvious, right? Come on, man. I'm tired of the sucker shit, man. Y'all got to grow up. Get y'all shit together, for real. Man, salute to Smack. I ain't gonna lie, B. I told you that, even behind the scenes, B. I'm not doing that. That shit is fucked up what they doing to Smack. And that's fucked up, B. For real. For real.
Man, it's definitely a lot of nasty fucking work. I'll say that.
It
I
is.
will
It's
say
nasty.
that. I will say that. And you know, and shout out to Smack, shout out to Norbes, shout out to URL and all of them. But this just shows me how much niggas got to really focus on their business and get their business together. Because
Yeah,
y'all
buddy.
niggas just showing that all you niggas just trying to fucking take,
Buddy.
you niggas trying to finesse, you niggas is like, that's all this shit show me, boy. Like, I gotta be on point with you niggas more than never. Because nigga, you'll never know what another niggas' intentions are, and a nigga might not even respect or give you the credit for the work that you put in. Nigga, that's like with Harlem, son. Like, nigga, you could never make me feel like I ain't like, nigga, what? Only difference is that I ain't going to court. You know what I mean? But Harlem ain't got no fucking millions neither. I ain't got no millions. So it's different in a lot of different aspects, respectfully.
Yeah,
But
Cali. That's what I'm saying, Cali.
Like just to get niggas business right is really what this shit is showing. This shit is crazy. But
like, Cali, let me tell you something, Cali. Like, I understand. You have every right to feel that way. Look, I brung these people to you. But now once you see it starting to get successful, it's like, yo,
you gotta be on your bullshit.
Yeah, you gotta come up with a contract. Oh, y'all about to do another venture? I just know I get my finder's fee for the artists that go over there. That's all. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna
Nigga, my first question would have been how much I'm getting, nigga. We doing a new deal. If I already feel like I'm part of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It ain't
Like,
about him beefing with Smack or Beasley. It's just that, oh, you about to do that? All right, much respect to y'all. Blessings. Just make sure that the artists that I brung y'all, I get my finder's fee. And that's it.
But why would you ask for a finder's fee, my nigga, if you already feel you're a part of this company that you're growing?
He's lying. That was a lie.
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know.
He never seen he never seen the financial statement. The facts are the facts. If I don't see no financial statement from this business, I'm not really a partner of this. I'm not a part of this business.
Why not here? It's more complex than that. I can explain verbally, not here. Why not? You just speak you made me curious. Why not?
Yeah, you got him real curious, Doc. He been on my mouth all morning. Like, yo, what is this? What is
like,
that?
what you talking about? I'm confused here. Why you can't verbally explain that shit right
here? Yeah. Nah.
Because you the one that know this shit better than most.
Respect the
culture.
And
if you in the building, unless you're busy or something.
Respect the culture. That's what it says, though. It said the fallout was between him and Chico, which probably was the straw on the camel's back because they really trying to build this. They trying to build this corporation, right? Yeah. Now, if he was doing proper business, don't you think all the artists that he brung to that would have been under his management already? That's rhetorical. I'm not going through it. I'm not going through this with nobody. But anyway, he left that alone. Started doing whatever else he doing. He getting gate money. He getting money for bringing in more talent. He doing a lot. And rumor has it he was unlikable. So now when we do this
Yeah,
venture,
he did a lot of
now when
wild
we do
shit
this
that niggas
venture,
was from. That's a
you
fact.
wasn't on, look, peep this. What was that just, who said that?
What?
Let me see.
Motherfucker Jones, I got you.
He wasn't already messing with them before the venture. He was going rogue.
True.
So once they do the venture, it's like, all right, you out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's about protocol.
Man.
It's about protocol. And they all was on the same protocol or all on the same page except him.
Which is crazy, but that's why I feel like he's part of the blame in this shit. Because the second them niggas was going to make a new deal and you had wind of it, the first thing you should have been doing is, well, nigga, let's figure out what we doing. What's my percentage? Well, nigga, do my title change, nigga? I'm looking, like, I don't know if those conversations was had though. That's why I want to hear Norbes.
His title should have been changed though.
Not if he taking the money and he doing this thing and he ain't speaking for himself. They gonna keep doing what works. It's business.
But he was doing more than scouting because they was paying him gate money. They was paying him for all of his services. So his role had changed already. He was just lazy and he didn't fix it. And then it gets blown up, and then you automatically think you're a partner. No, we just had you doing more shit than you said you can handle it. So we asked you because the business is getting bigger. But you never double back and revised your contract or revised your position. That's his fault.
Yeah, I agree. That fall on him. He got to be able to do it. Motherfucker Jones, you said they was calling him a partner. It's documented. Yo, I never seen it, Brody. I didn't know that.
I don't even know what you're talking about. To be honest with you.
I'm not familiar with that, but shit. Okay, so they got it documented. Hold on, Dr. Rosie, show your face, not your waist, real quick. Just need 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hell yeah. All right, you go.
They still claiming he's not a partner, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You might have to show that document.
Dr. Rosie.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Relaxing. You sure? I figured your ass be tired, man. I woke goddamn night.
Hot mess right now.
We like vampires.
But yeah, I want to hear you speak though.
All right, so this is what everybody has to understand, especially the gentleman that you have on the panel. All right. The whole situation is regarding fiduciary duty because the URL had a responsibility as business owners to notify Norbes that he wasn't in a partnership and that there was an LLC, which they didn't. And they said this under oath. They never showed him the LLC. Now there's a case, which was the Blue Man Group, which was on the bounds of fiduciary duty too. This is the same judge who oversaw this, and Norbes attorneys used the Blue Man Group in their argument. So URL attorney said to the judge, should I write a 5-page summary on the Blue Man Group? The judge says, I don't need you to do nothing. I know what that case is. I oversaw that. He said, when I oversaw that case, it was about fiduciary duty. It went into a mandatory settlement conference. And also the summary judgment was denied, but it ended in a settlement for over $100 million.
So you're saying that the settlement that they were supposed to have a conversation about
trial. So after you go to trial, you get a settlement. So the settlement still sticks as far as in the act of the monetary exchange. So it doesn't matter if it's a mandatory settlement conference or if you go to trial and you get a settlement. The settlement still exists. This is what I was talking about, why I feel like URL's attorneys are being very malicious, because URL attorneys in March 17th, 2020, under oath, URL attorneys lied regarding the relationship with caffeine. They was touting because they didn't think that Norbes' attorney was going to bring caffeine into this because they felt like they didn't have enough claims based on the claims that they were admitting to. I mean, Norbes' sworn statement, his complaint. What ended up happening was, because they were under the impression that URL's attorneys was under the impression that Norbes' attorney was not going to bring caffeine into it. They were saying stuff. March 17th, 2020, they were saying, caffeine, we have a strategic partnership. This is what Samatero was saying. We have this strategic partnership. He said it 3 times in that transcript under oath. When it came down to December 2022, now he's saying there was no partnership with caffeine. It was just a relationship, and the relationship that existed only existed by way of the these agreements that they had. All right.
None of the agreements were in writing, correct? None of these agreements were in writing as far as we know, correct?
Part of the contract with caffeine was for the broadcasting rights. So URL is acting as a producer of the rap battles. Caffeine is acting as a distributor. So John French, who doesn't like Norbes, is the one who has the copyrights. So he is entitled to the money that comes in because he owns the copyrights for these battles, like Summer Madness, Ultimate Madness, and all this stuff like that. The Gnome and stuff. They're all in John French's name. They were submitted to the courts. The copyright was submitted, and it's in John French's name. So that could have forced Beasley and Smacks to abide by how Gene wanted by cutting Norbes out of the caffeine deal, even though the judge said and asked URL's attorney, did Norbes bring talent in such as Drake? And they said, well, we can't say that's not true. They won't say that it's, no. They said we can't say that's not true, but they're saying that Norbes brought low-level rappers in, and as far as the extreme to Drake. So they're saying that he was just a talent scout. So yeah, he brought in low-level talent and other artists such as like Drake. But that wasn't necessarily the case. We know that in battle rap. That wasn't it. These were Norbes connections, and Norbes was doing this to enrich himself along with URL. This is why there's also a claim that is still there in the courts called unjust enrichment. That's saying that they were not justified by enriching themselves off of Norbes, on top of the fact that they had the fiduciary duty to tell him. And since they didn't, they were unjustly enriched. There was also a promissory estoppel. There's a case for quantum merit, and there's another case for promissory estoppel. All these cases, all these claims that the judge said there was enough information to go forward on, outside of the 11 claims, including the partnership, that wasn't, are claims that existed in the Blue Man Group. It was a similar type of way where the guy was cut out of millions of dollars, right? So this judge is aware of circumstances that are like this. And just because you aren't a partnership, you don't have that agreement, there's no documentation, you can't allow people to be the responsible person for the success of your company. Now, the judge said he agreed that URL owes Norb because he sees that Norb was instrumental to the success of URL. So when you're talking about finder's fee and all that, throw that out the window. All right. This is the Supreme Court. So let me explain to you what it means. And I'm getting this from my entertainment attorney. What is going on is you have a case where somebody was not aware of what they were doing would not contribute to their success. It would solely contribute to the success of only the certain parties. You can make that clear to them in some form or fashion, and it wasn't. They called them an independent contractor, but so are the battlers. If the battlers are independent contractors, then why Norbes never had a contract? And since Norbes never had a contract, there was no legal and binding agreement as to how this should manifest and take place, as to why the fiduciary exists.
Loophole.
Exactly. So now it's about the fact that they're aware that he was a talent scout or that he brought talent into this company, but the origins of, because this is where the fiduciary duty comes in at, like with the Blue Man Group, as to why it's similarities. The origins of URL was on the back of Math and T-Rex in October 26, 2009, that first battle that they did. The first battle that they did was the creation and the development of the URL to be what it is today. And Norbes was the manager of Math Hoffa. Then you have to also remember that Norbes brought in many other battlers. Surf, Loaded Lux, A-Verb, Geechee, and J-Twerk. Yeah, you see where I'm going?
Yes.
So because of that, the people that he brought in URL made millions off of them. And they don't want to show the records regarding this information. They didn't want to show it because they don't want these battlers and their investors and the fans to know the type of money that they made over these years. But Norbes has information that was submitted from their attorneys because they went back and forth. So when the reason why they got to the mandatory settlement conference was because 2 years had passed and they weren't doing it on their own. They could have easily met and conferred, got the information that they wanted, disposed Smack Beasley and Chico, and then they could have found a private mediator to try to go to a settlement and get that out the way so they can go to trial. They didn't. The judge said, and the attorneys were saying that you either going to go to trial or you're going to go to settlement, like do it through a settlement conference. But either which way, this is the outcome. And when you go to trial, it's about trying to figure out what operations was Norbes involved in. And this is what sunk them when it came down to the fiduciary duty. Because in a disposition from Jean French, Norbes' attorney asked him, so if somebody was there at the company, like Norbes, and was doing all the stuff that Norbes was doing, and then was cut out of millions, do you feel that this was a breach of duty? Jean French said yes.
Wait a minute. A breach of duty as meaning like
that they had a
violating
fiduciary
the
duty to
business
tell him,
relationship?
because they had a fiduciary duty to tell him, because they are business owners and they were operating as an LLC without the knowledge of Norbes. So since they did that, then should they have told him? Because Norbes, in the court, they said that he contributed over possibly $100,000 into the investments that he was getting into the URL. Would he have done these things if he was aware that there was an LLC in place and that there was no partnership, even if he didn't see finances? So they said, okay, there wasn't a partnership because the partnership didn't exist because Norbes could not present the profits and losses. So that was thrown out. URL attorneys made a great argument regarding the partnership, but Norbes' attorney made a great argument regarding the fiduciary duty as to why it stuck to the point of getting to the disposition to ask those certain questions. So the questions that Jean French was giving up emails that didn't look good for the URL too. So I don't know what's going on between them, but Jean French is not making it look good for the URL with some of the information that he had. But when you get subpoenaed from the Supreme Court, you can't delete it. So he had to submit it. And some of the email correspondence just looked really bad because it showed that Norbes was an intricate part in the operations at URL. And that was already in the findings. So now it's about, all right, now if they go to trial, the things that are going to be addressed is things such as Beasley lying in his affidavit. He lied in the affidavit and said that Norbes never had.
I wanted to ask you about that too, because I heard you keep saying that Beasley lied. I don't know what he lied about.
All right, so in the affidavit, I'm gonna show that later too. I'm definitely gonna show it later. In the affidavit, Eric Beasley stated under oath, sworn testimony, that Norbes had no control over the social media, over any of the URL accounts and any of the URL finances and etc. But what was found was after he submitted the affidavit, someone tried to sneak in, because then after he did the affidavit, they said, oh, let me go back here and check to make sure that Norbes ain't on none of our accounts. They went back on there and they found that on the Facebook, Norbes was an administrator. Mind you, that word administrator matters. They took him off the administrator after Beasley swore that he had access to any social media platforms. Then, after they snuck and took him off, a few days later, Norbes had got an email from Facebook saying you're no longer an administrator on the Facebook account. If this was an error, please, whatever, and contact moderator, whatever, right? So So Norb's attorney submitted that to the court and said, look, he lied. He perjured himself, right? So Beasley went back and he had to amend his affidavit because he lied. And he was like, oh, it was unbeknownst to him. He was unaware of that. But Beasley was saying that he controlled everything and he has everything to do with it. And only people have access is him, Chico, and Smack. So it will only be those three if those three are the only ones that have full access over these type of accounts, all URL accounts, including the URL TV app. But when Beasley made his affidavit, when he changed his affidavit, he says, okay, so Norbes was a moderator. That was it. It wasn't like he was an administrator or anything like that. He was just a moderator. But he didn't address the fact that Norbes was taken off of an administrator because an administrator has different access. We know that as certain other moderators and stuff. So he could be able to post and have different kind of access to the Facebook.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, but he tried to modestly say that he was just a moderator. He wasn't an administrator. But the email stated something different. These are things that are going to be that when Beasley get on that stand, he's going to have to. There's no way to spin it with not having knowledge because they're doing trackers on who is not only changing that Wikipedia, because the Wikipedia was changed. So on the Wikipedia, when they took Norb's name off, they were able to see the IP addresses to see where it was coming from. And I think it was alleged that it came from Beasley, that Beasley changed the Wikipedia, but don't quote me on that. But this is going to come out in court, who the IP addresses were that changed the Wikipedia and took Norbs off. That's number one. Number two, information from the data from Facebook shows exactly which moderator was the one who took Norbs off after not John French's, but Eric Beasley's sworn affidavit that Norbes didn't have any control over it.
Do you feel like that right there is going to play any big factor into them getting able to open these books?
The books are open already. That's what people don't understand is that whatever financial records they were able to get those because the judge there was I think in December 2020 or thereafter, the judge said, I am appalled. He was like, the judge was pissed. He is sick of them. The judge was supposed to retire. This judge is not supposed to be here. The judge said, I'm supposed to retire in 2023. He said, if y'all don't get this taken care of, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to retire. This case is going to be thrown on the desk of another judge. It's going to go to the bottom of the pile. And you're probably not going to come back to court until 2026. But when they went to court, it was something that was going on in the language within the court that the judge said, I'm not going to retire right now. Because when they came back recently, when it came back, this judge wasn't supposed to be here. This is the same judge that had that 9-figure settlement for the Blue Man Group for fiduciary duty. I'm pretty sure
so they ran into the same attorney.
So they were drawing the case out, trying to get this judge in a retirement state, and so they could get a different judge who wasn't probably as familiar with the Blue Man Group or how they had handled the fiduciary duty case as much as this one, because this one ultimately, if the URL is found to be, a breach of duty, then we already know how this could end. It could end with an astronomical amount of money being settled in the court. And no matter what, people got to understand that this settlement, even with the Blue Man Group, was confidential. But the judge did say it was a telephone number. So that means that there was.
What do you mean a telephone number?
Meaning 9 figures, over 100 million. He said, we were talking about a telephone number. That's nine figures. So he's saying that this was 9 figures. But the Blue Man Group, even back in I went to see them late 90s, early 2000s, each ticket was $90 each. The person who was in charge of getting them the gigs and building their marketing and branding them and doing what they did, he was instrumental in the success. Even though the Blue Man Group were the ones that were beating on the drums and had the blue faces and stuff, there was another person that was working with him. The person that was working with the marketing guy for the Blue Man Group, didn't argue partnership. The partnership didn't wasn't part of his argument. The part of his argument was just they had a fiduciary duty to tell him that everything that he was doing to bring them success wasn't going to be compensated when there was, a lucrative deal on the table for millions of dollars that he was cut out of.
So how did they determine, right? Because one question I do want to ask you is about the book, because I know everybody was saying like, yo, if they start seeing the numbers in this book, this shit gonna cause an outrage. It's gonna get crazy. Things will be exposed. So do you know exactly when this book was open?
All right, let me tell you about this book that they're talking about, are the finances. Nobody's going to see any of URL's finances, and I'm going to tell you why. There was a stipulation for confidentiality that was put in by both parties. That's for maybe Norbes banking or, wire transfers or anything to do with any finances with Norbes. All this stuff is sealed. It's confidential, attorney eyes only. So that means that there's a motion to compel. There was a motion to compel to get URL attorneys to give them the information, but they had to do a stipulation of confidentiality so that these things would be confidential, attorney eyes only. Norbes don't know. Norbes is only aware of the fact that they exist and that whatever's in these documents is enough to feel like the amount that he's suing for is reasonable. So it has to show something that says that the URL is generating up a high level of revenue. And that's all that the attorney could probably make sense to Norbes regarding. It's enough. But Norbes was there, so he knows how much the ticket sales was. And there was an audit for Born Legacy that I have a couple days ago that I pulled up. And even just back in the day, they were generating, a decent amount of money. And mind you, there's a residual income, and there's the URL TV app, and then there's the licensing agreement. That's the deal.
All of these things are in this book. I just want to
yeah. All this, well, not book, it's data. It's a whole bunch of data that was transferred over to the attorneys. So whatever in the data, these are things that are in their data, but the actual figures, nobody is going to be able to know what's in those figures. But there will be an expert that, like a forensic attorney, an accountant, a forensic accountant or something, that will go over, who will look at this information and interpret it. And what the accountant can see is if there was enough to feel like this is what Norbes would have brought, or these changes, or how the company, because the attorney said the company grew exponentially. So that means that each year this company was growing and making additional money. So that's where the argument comes as to the fiduciary duty and the amount that Norbes should be owed is coming to the point of the million, because something within this information contained states that this is a fair assessment.
And you really think that what they hanging their hat upon right now is the fact that they're saying that the business grew exponentially?
Well, what URL is doing is saying that the partnership claim was thrown out, that Norbes wasn't a partner, so he's not entitled to anything like that, as if the fiduciary duty doesn't give them responsibility to split some of what the success was out of the company that he was instrumental for, that it should be he should be compensated on it. And that's the issue they're not talking about. They keep bringing up this partnership claim and arguing this partnership, and we're not here for partnership. We're here for fiduciary.
Yeah, we know they lost the partnership deal. We know that. But it was the other things that you was talking about that had me like, hold on. Because I know how an indictment go. You might get indicted and have 15 counts on your indictment, but you might only end up doing time for about 3 or 4 of them. So if I'm to flip it logically and take it business-wise, if I got, let's say, 15, like, what was it, 11, 16 that you said? You said it was like 16 different counts. You said different claims, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you got 16 different and they already threw out 11 and you still probably got about a good 5 or 6 of them, that means there's still an opportunity to actually win off that still.
Yeah, because see, the civil court is a little bit different in the level of certainty. So in a criminal case, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So you have to have a lot stronger information like that equates to being, if you want to get somebody on the guilty. And the civil is, I mean, well, excuse me. In a criminal case, is beyond a reasonable doubt. All right, so you got to be without a shadow of a doubt. But in the civil case, is the preponderance of evidence. So you see, if you look, it's over like 200 pages of evidence. So in civil, it's the preponderance of evidence. And if you have a jury that is looking at all this information and all this detail, they can look at the fact that all this information exists. So there was a fiduciary duty that, it doesn't look good to take this to trial. I don't see why they would. But the judge is telling them that there's only two places this is going to go. It's going to go and at the settlement conference, and you guys can figure it out and come up with a settlement, or either this is going to trial. But he's saying that no matter which way this is going to go, you have to first go and do the settlement conference, because they didn't want to do it. They were prolonging it, but they couldn't get the documents. Once they did the confidentiality, and because it was a back and forth, and URL was arguing that we don't want them to see this information. We don't want Norbes to see this information. If this information, our finances get out, it will cause irreparable harm with our clients, with our sponsors, with our investors, and stuff like that, and our fans and everything. But
so let me ask you this real quick.
It didn't work.
I'm sorry, Dr. Rosie. I got a question for you though, real quick. Is URL a private, owned entity?
URL acts as a LLC. They are a limited liability corporation.
Okay. So
Did they go public? Are they a public corporation?
No. They're not public. That's why nobody is privy to their finances.
See,
and
I told
that's
you.
That's what we was hinting to.
And that's why they're sealed. All their finances are sealed. The only person that will ever see these finances is Norbes' attorney and the expert. But the expert will be able to testify regarding some of that information, what he sees. But let me explain to you guys too.
That's a little iffy though.
This is the part that everybody needs to hear, right? This is the thing that you guys need to hear. Because I know I've took an account and all that. If this accountant sees anything within those documents that are not right, he has a duty to report it to the IRS. That's one. Right. Number two, it was stated already that 2013 and 2017, there was no tax information that was submitted, but there is evidence of money coming in, because if you have the battles, the pay-per-views, and this is why Harry was essential, because Harry could show that there was money coming in 2013 and 2017 and how much it was, because they didn't report it. Now, also, when you get that expert on that stand that testifies to this, is similar to the Cardi B Tasha K case. When they went up there and they said that these years were not, that Tasha K did not file taxes those years, the IRS came and they sat in that courtroom right after they made that statement in court. You cannot not pay taxes and go to the Supreme Court and have an expert get on the stand, and then they'll put you on the stand and say, Beasley, you said you were responsible for the finances. Did you file taxes in 2017? No. All right, now you got an IRS issue, because now you're going to end up getting audited. Why would they? And they're going to take this to trial, which that's literally cause an audit with the URL.
So do we know it's a fact that these niggas have not paid their motherfucking taxes? Do we know that?
Under oath, based on the records that was submitted to the court, URL attorney was able to tell them that. Well, let me tell you, 2013 and 2017.
Because I just want to get an understanding, because all this shit is crazy.
They said in 2013 and 2017, we don't see any financial information. So either they didn't make any money, they didn't pay taxes, or they didn't do what they were supposed to do or operate as a business, but they filed an LLC in 2016. So how's that working? And then there was some other issues because they brought in Smack White Entertainment, URL did. Now that's part of the court claim. And since 2002 to when it went dormant, I think in 2016, there was no evidence of any financial records being kept regarding that. And they said, oh, well, we wish we would have kept some things, but, that was like old, and we dissolved that because we started the URL. But they brought it up, and now I know, but
Bullshit.
their attorney has to argue. Their attorney is doing the best he can.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. God damn, they wildin'.
I
Oh
don't know,
man,
man, because
this is a
if
mess.
they have to file taxes in 2013 if
They
they're
started in
not
2009. Remember, the URL was started in
well, okay,
2009.
okay.
They even
Now
admitted
I
that
get
under
now
oath.
that's a little more
Yeah,
clarity. Thank
because
you
they
for
admitted
clearing
that
that.
under oath. And then there's also an email from Beasley stating some money that was paid to Math Hoffa, T-Rex, Norbes, Smack, Chico.
Damn, I
He
remember
had
that unconscious
yeah,
battle.
he had the he had a he had an email of all the money, and it was set like there was like 15,000. This was like in 2012 though. It was like 15,000 in expenses but then he showed all the money that everybody was getting and dispersed from the events and how much they were spending. In 2012, Beasley was saying that, hey, we need to keep track of what we're making. This is 4 years after they had already been making money since 2009 and have
To
no
2013.
to 2013 that they had no
No, no, no.
financials. But there's information that shows that there was there was some money coming in, and they were operating as a business. They just wasn't doing.
So how would that be possible? And like, can you see where it kind of throw me off at? Because if you let's say that y'all see some financials, but we know that y'all are not because in 09 to 13 they weren't even LLC'd. But is this the time frame when it was Smack Entertainment?
Yeah.
No, it was no. Smack Entertainment wasn't truly operating and taking in the finances as their attorney is trying to say, and that they're not. They have not argued as to why the URL, being that the URL existed since 2009, how money was taken in, but there is a disbursement that included Norbes. This is where Harry comes in, and where Harry was subpoenaed because back from that time period, WatchBattleLive.com was the one that was taking in a lot of the revenue that was coming in for URL. So Harry would know where the bodies are buried because Harry was the one that had the money coming through him and was giving the money to the URL. It had to have happened like that if they had no bank records. So it had to
If
be
they
on
make
Harry,
that
the back of
man get
Harry.
on that
They
stand,
subpoena
when that
Harry.
man get on that stand,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
if anything is a contradiction to anything that them people done seen, them man.
Now
So
that he
prepare,
got a
man.
Yeah. Okay.
So now they're going to go to trial and have. There's a lot of subpoenas that came out because they subpoenaed Norbes. I mean, not Norbes, that was an RBA case, but they had subpoenaed caffeine. Norbes subpoenaed caffeine because they wanted to get the email correspondence, and the judge said give them to them because even though they gave them the licensing agreements that showed that there was some kind of relationship with the URL, it wasn't enough information to give context as to how this played a part in why Norbes is suing for the amount of money. Because what he's saying is that caffeine, with the 113 million that they crowdfunded, that money was used as an anchor for the URL content. So they were funneling money from the crowd fund to give to URL for the licensing agreement, and that's how they were paying the battlers and why the battlers were getting that much money. But if you go look at how much the battlers were getting during the caffeine era, imagine how much money URL could have been making in comparison if they're giving maybe 10% of the earnings that are coming from the licensing agreement from Jean French, who owned it. So this was important for him to get, but he needed the correspondence from caffeine to URL that initiated this agreement because he was instrumental in plugging the relationship between them to get this caffeine deal because he knew Drake, and it was by way of Drake, and by way of Drake was through Norbes. So
That's
cutting
crazy.
him out of that is crazy in itself because and then the attorneys, URL attorneys, were arguing like, well, Norbes was only asking for $500,000. Well, maybe you should have paid him that because it doesn't matter now that you're in court.
Thank you.
He said he said, oh well, he was only asking for $500,000, but now it's like 25 million or something like that. He was downplaying the millions, right? But he was saying that, well, he only asked for $500,000. Well, that is out the window now.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at this thing in a whole sense of going back from where Norbes complaint is from. The origins of URL started on the back of Math Hoffa and T-Rex, and then Averb and Hitman came after that. That was the next one. So then you got these battlers that were going there on the strength of Norbes and made all the URL money for them to be what the URL is today. The fiduciary duty, just like in the Blue Man Group, was that the person who was instrumental in helping them to develop the success of the Blue Man Group started it. So it's about the fact that they can't escape the fact that the day one event Norbes was responsible for. Norbes shopped that event around because it was he couldn't go to grind time. They didn't have the money or whatever. So he was shopping.
I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. Niggas gave that nigga a fucking app subscription, boy. You shit me in my drunken mook voice. That's crazy. Give a nigga an app subscription. I would have gave a nigga a smack subscription. The fuck you talking about, nigga?
And then also something that's really important is that URL sued Norbes for copyright infringement for somebody on that page doing whatever they trying to promote for somebody to go somewhere else and see the Ultimate Madness. What ended up happening was that case got thrown out. It was dismissed with prejudice, so it can't be brought back up. So that copyright claim that they were arguing that, Norbes was over there doing copyright shit or, dealing with our intellectual property and everything like that, that's out the window. But the intellectual property is the battlers. This money and all this is all about what the battlers have.
The material that the artists are coming up with. I think I'm getting a little bit better understanding, and that's why I appreciate you, Dr. Rosie, for pulling up, because I'm just trying to understand all of this shit. Know what I mean? Because it seems like there's really a lot going on here, and I just feel like for URL, I feel like y'all should just be smarter. Y'all niggas is going to court with different niggas and all of that. Y'all niggas don't need to. Y'all do what y'all gotta do.
I can't see them
love URL at the end of the day, but come on, I'm expecting y'all to be smarter. I'm saying y'all. I know y'all ain't about to go back and forth with Dr. Rosie. I know y'all niggas ain't about to go back and forth with this woman now.
Man,
like that just show you. But they already lied. The URL attorneys already lied under oath regarding the relationship with Caffeine from March 17, 2020 to December 2022. So for them to make a statement to the media and for anybody to actually believe that over the facts that I'm reading just shows you how manipulative and how desperate URL attorneys are. Because why are you addressing little old me?
It's nasty
word. Not a case. If you know that your clients didn't have any wrongdoing, why would you need to worry about what the media think? Because the media is not the Supreme Court, and this is isolated within the battle rap community. It's not on entertainment television, Entertainment Weekly.
But that's why I feel like they would respond. Because who would want this bad publicity on their company? Like, can you be wrong? Can you be upset with that though?
But it's not bad.
If my company, like when every time one of these niggas come outside and say something about me, Dr. Rosie, am I on this camera? I might address it 1-2 times and then I'm off. That man, I'm gonna holler at you, bum ass. I ain't going back and forth with no victims.
Not in an ongoing case with the Supreme Court. Should any attorney feel like he has to address the media and then persuade an audience to believe something that is misconstrued? Because we're not here for partnership. So why was they talking about partnership claims, and why they didn't address the general public about them telling the courts that it would cause irreparable harm if anybody seen their finances? They said nothing about that. All they kept doing was downplaying the relationship that Norbes had with them. But we all know, because we all experienced it and witnessed it and was there. We know what Norbes did. We know how we saw Norbes, and they was calling him boss. And there's so many interactions between him and Beasley to show that him and Beasley had a very loving.
Yeah, him and Beasley was cool.
Beasley was his
name.
Yeah, but Beasley back was put against the wall. Like he could have been cut out.
By who? Who put Beasley back against the wall?
John French, because John French, not Caffeine. John French did, because John French didn't like Norbes. So if John French has the copyrights to these battles,
Yeah.
and they're being and they're
I
and
hope,
mind you,
I hope you're wrong, Dr. Rosie, because
no,
the
no, no,
lawyer
no.
can't knock the money.
No, the licensing
Yo,
agreements, are in John French's name. That means that John French would get the money and would have to
Mm.
disperse the money between him, Smack, and and Beasley. So if
right.
they didn't go with what Chico wanted, Chico could have easily retaliated by divvying up the proceeds differently because he owns the copyrights. The copyrights are not in Smack or Beasley's name.
See, and that's what that
So
messed up.
hold on. So
So
let me ask you
they
this.
don't have
Chico in
they
the
didn't have
John
a choice or say in it. They had to do what they had to do if they wanted to continue to enrich themselves, and that's why we're here for the
Oh,
unjust
that's
enrichment.
messed up.
Dr.
And that's
Roselle White, answer this for me real quick. Is
That's
the John French nigga and the Chico nigga the same nigga?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought
yeah.
he was the lawyer, and I thought Chico was a whole nother nigga.
No, John French is Chico. Chico's name is John
You
French.
heard? I didn't know them niggas was the same nigga.
Yeah, John French is Chico.
So this shit wild, boy. Oh man.
So John French had a lot to do with what was going
Okay.
on, as far as and how we got where we're at because he didn't want it, because of his non-existing relationship with Norbes because everybody say that Norbes you know wasn't the kindest or the best person to deal with, but we don't know what kind of pressure he on because y'all see how he is now. Norbes is mad cool now, but he wasn't then. But it's a tough exterior you gotta have when you go into the trenches. You can't be the kind, sweet, gentle person that was probably a persona that was created by the environment that he was in or how he was being treated. But we know that every time he got on that camera, he spoke highly of Beasley. He spoke highly of Smack. We know he would definitely have taken a bullet for them too, because he was so naive and he believed and he trusted them. And this was what the courts believed too, that because of the relationship wasn't like, oh, we just met. This was 10 years of going on and they were friends and there was communication. And he said, Beasley held his child. He said, but he invited Smack to an event that he had for his children. Smack didn't even show up. So you could tell that the relationship really existed between him and Beasley. But Beasley said that he was responsible, just as responsible as the other ones, for a lot of stuff that was going on. So there was a fiduciary duty for them to tell Norbes that he wasn't part of the in crowd. But when you're interacting with somebody on a daily basis or constantly with the operations that are going on within your business, you can't just allow people to do anything. You tell him saying that he's an independent contractor and employees do this. The attorney is saying that employees make money for a company. Employees also get commission and bonuses, and they say, well, Norbes was paid. It was an ad hoc payment. It was an ad hoc service with ad hoc payments, meaning that when he did what he did, he was fully compensated. Norbes is
I
saying
think
that
we might need you and Norbes to do this interview, man. I think y'all two doing the interview, man, getting into this shit. I mean, respectfully, I know Norbes probably ain't really trying to come out. I
yeah,
know, nigga, I wouldn't. You heard?
nah,
I ain't saying shit if I'm in the middle of some shit, nigga. You heard? Niggas ain't gonna know.
yeah, he
But
can't.
this is public. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
know nobody wants to put themselves in no incriminating situations
But look
more
what the
than
attorneys just did. The attorneys just went and put URL attorneys. Look what they just did. They put out a statement that we know that Norb's attorney is going to take that and submit that to the courts and say, look at what they're doing. Because what they're doing is once again arguing that there's no partnership when we're not here for partnership. So why don't they argue the fiduciary duty claim if that's what they're going to have to argue when they go to court, if you want the media to really be on your side or if you really want to argue the case the right way? They're not doing that. They're still downplaying Norb's level of interaction between the URL, but they're also trying to make it seem like because the partnership claim didn't stick, that this is just BS. And that's not it, because the whole the core of the battle rap community knows how instrumental Norbes was. Even if you got 10, you can subpoena 10 battlers that could say, well, I thought Norbes was a part of it. I thought Norbes was a part of it. I thought Norbes was a part of it. Norbes is the one who got me. Norbes is the one who helped me with the contract. Norbes was the one with this. There is enough information. Everybody should be respectful for the fact that Norbes did not draw them, but there was enough information without bringing the battlers in, and bringing the battlers in would have caused more of a disdain, because look what's going on right now with Averb and them. They realizing that this company made at least 100 million, likely, possibly over $100 million off of their intellectual property over the last 10 years. And they didn't see none of it. They got pennies on a dollar in comparison to the money that was generated in the revenues. And any money that was the royalties that came out of their intellectual property was divvied up between 4 people, 3 people. It's not going to anybody. It's not trickling down to the battlers. The battlers are not getting like a fair percentage.
So
And
I just see karma.
around.
It's just karma. That's all that this is. This is just karma. And whoever gets hurt by it, they got hurt by it for a good reason. And it ain't really nothing to defend because y'all just doing too much shady shit behind the scenes, man. Like pay these boys, B.
Yeah, and Norb said that he was responsible for at least 100 battles, being 100 events taking place. 100.
Yeah, but he's also responsible for the fuck shit too. Like that's what I'm saying. The obvious.
But we're not here for. But we're not here for. We're,
you know.
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to say this: we're not here for how we personally feel about Norb's conduct. We're not here. His conduct is not on trial. How we personally feel about him is not on trial. His unethical behavior, his improper business is not.
Dr. Roselle, we can't do that though because you know at the end of the day, everybody. You know, everybody got to be held accountable, though. We're not going to do that.
So let me explain. This was an argument that was in court that he was fired because of his unprofessional manner.
No. Don't think I don't understand because I understand what you did and what you said, and I understand how they responded. So I understand the pocket that you found. I don't want you to think I missed that.
Because I'm just only speaking about the Supreme Court because I can't. Because if you go into anything else and your mind start looking somewhere else, people start making their determinations based on how they personally feel about somebody. That's the problem with battle rap. We need to stick to the facts. I would love to hold him accountable for his actions and the environment that he created. But all I'm saying is that this is not on the thing. Yeah, but this is just not part of the outcome.
And I get it. This ain't the argument you.
They're not going to say because you are a dickhead, you're not going to get no money. You know what I'm saying? What it is that it doesn't matter that you were kicked out because of that, and that is relevant because it is the reason or justification as to why URL chose to get rid of him. But prior to that, to the point of termination, which ruined his career, they are going to have to pay.
Yeah, but this is karma too, because what about the artist? Like here we defending the fact that he didn't get paid as a league owner or whatever partner. But I'm getting to the 100 battles that he said he was involved in, and that them artists didn't get paid their right due. Like Verb is saying, it's over $100 million, and like you just said, they ain't really see nothing. So like he has to hold himself accountable for this karma.
Well, it's possibly, at least in the 100, at least 100 million, or the valuation of URL could be potentially about that much based on the intellectual property that exists from all the battles that have been done.
It could be 10.
But it's not on the back of one battler. This is cumulatively. There have been many battlers that came, by way of URL or from other battle leagues. But no matter what, everything that was contributed to URL from these battlers has a monetary value. And in the contracts, it states in the contracts that whatever they do with it has nothing to do with them. And Verb said it. It makes sense. If you see something that Loaded Lux say on NBA 2K or something, or if you see it on EA Sports, it goes to the URL. It doesn't go to Loaded Lux. He might get some popularity for like, yo, you said this or something, but it doesn't go to them. They don't get any compensation whatsoever for anything that they did within those battle raps.
And my thing is he under management? Who brung Loaded Lux to URL?
Norbes.
So why isn't Loaded Lux under Norbes management? Then he wouldn't have had to go through this problem. That's my point. If his business was already in order with the artists that he founded, he wouldn't have these intellectual problems.
All right, so let me explain. All right. This is the issue. The business.
I ain't gonna lie, we got 5 minutes, y'all. I got to get ready to go get the kitties.
All right, so let me explain. The business model that the URL was under, right? What ended up happening after the first few battles was that Norbes felt like he's developed something. So now he wanted to continue to create and bring in talent as to why the Proving Grounds was created. So he started to allow each of them, because it's 4 partners, well, it was 4 parties involved. So the 4 parties that were involved, they all wore different hats. This is also testimony from a video that Eric Beasley has said that we all wear many hats. And they said that one of the many hats that Norbes was wearing outside of management of artists was to bring in new talent, because they saw that it was some potential to make money in it. And that's how the URL was developed. It was developed by the thoughts that we could do something else, and Norbes did it. Norbes' ideas were implemented into the URL, hence part of the success of the URL. How we're going to trial and say that anything was different, because Norbes' attorneys are saying they're trying to rewrite history. And if anybody was, and like you said, and you also agreed that, that Norbes brought in talent. He brought in some of the top tier ones, the majority of the top tier ones, into the URL. He did not do it with the hopes of making Smack, Beasley, and Chico wealthy and him poor. And anybody want to say that that should be right doesn't understand fiduciary duty.
So what was his position as far as management? Because I understand him
He
bringing in
wasn't
talent. But
management. He turned into what he believed was a partnership. So everybody was managed under the same umbrella. It was the URL umbrella, but it was supposed to be a partnership agreement.
no,
Although,
I'm not talking about the URL.
Between all the parties, Boogie. She's saying.
Yeah, I'm talking about before he even get in partnership with them. He's bringing in people.
no. At the 2009,
Yeah.
the first battle with Matt Hoffa,
Okay.
he came in. He already knew them for like 4 or 5 years already.
Right.
They all linked together because they was coming from different walks of life. But Norbes was the one who had his ear to the street. Norbes was the one who had the connections, even as far as in the Floyd Mayweather event that was up for debate, but that was Norbes' claims that was his doing, and Drake, which was already brought out in court, and the judge is aware that Norbes was responsible for bringing in talent such as low-tier rappers, and all the way up to the high caliber of a name like Drake. But they're looking at it like, so what? Now, how would you feel if you brought in Drake, and Drake brought $100 million contract from URL that could have, not potentially bring in millions of dollars to the URL, and you got not one penny? You think that's fair? Or do you think that URL had a fiduciary duty to tell him, like, yo, you're not part of this? Since they didn't tell him, and they had a duty to tell him, and because John French, who AKA Chico, swore in his disposition under oath that by what the URL did to Norbes, he admitted in that disposition under oath that, and it was video, the disposition of videos, they're going to come out, you're going to see these videos, but the transcripts are already available, and what they're going to show is that John French, aka Chico, stated that if they did what they did to Norbes, and if Norbes can prove in court that these things did happen, that was a breach of duty, that they should have told him. All they had to do was tell him and show him that LOC, and they never did. If they would have did that, we wouldn't be here, or the fiduciary duty claim won't exist, and it's possible the unjust enrichment, promissory estoppel, and the quantum merit may not exist. And then you have the right to publicity too. That's another one that is stuck, because they were using his name and likeness without his permission and written consent. That is still there too, and that's because he was seen on a caffeine app, which is not a connection to Norbes, because he was cut out of everything. So why is any of the content that has Norbes in there working in partnership with them to some degree, or interacting, or dealing with operations, or wearing one of his hats? Why is he on the caffeine if you're saying he's not part of it? And by showing Norbes, even though it wasn't a commercial use like a commercial, it may have brought some popularity for them to think that the URL was still running or operating in the same manner it was prior to them joining caffeine, but he wasn't part of it. So this is why Norris wants to see the communications, because you got me over there on caffeine, but what does caffeine know? And how did you make this deal if I know that this deal came by way of me? So show me these communications between the URL and caffeine so I can see what is in that communication and how does that communication.
And that makes perfect sense. When you break it down that way, Dr. Rosie, that makes perfect sense. But I'm sorry, y'all. Got to get ready to wrap this up. Got to take care of the people.
So thank you,
Doctor, showing
love
up.
you guys.
Appreciate your input.
No, man, love you too, Dr. Rosie. And you already know. Matter of fact, let them know where to follow you at. Let these niggas know to go follow your channel. And let these niggas know what time you're going live. Because your ass be going live on California time, son.
I know, I'm a late night person. I love the nighttime.
It's motherfucking 2 a.m. I wake up to go to the bathroom. Your ass on here wilding. Like, now I'm up. Now I can't even go back to sleep, man. Like, and I didn't put the ass in. And you still on for 2 hours. You heard?
No, I looked at the line. I got off. It said 4 hours and 40 minutes.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I read 2 transcripts on that last one though, and that information was pertinent to understanding the development of the case. And I'll be reading more. And I apologize about the length of the video.
Nah, but
it's an extensive
Dr.
case.
Roselle White, you know, you already know what's up. I greatly appreciate you for taking the time to pop out and explain that.
You can find me if you type in YouTube at ROSIE 67671. You should be able to find me, but I'm Dr. Roselle White, PhD, on most platforms.
Yeah, you got a time you want to give the people that you're going live tonight?
Oh, I'm gonna try to go live a little earlier. So I'm gonna try to go live like between 9 and 10 because I really want to go through the dispositions so everybody can see what Smack, Beasley, and Chico stated in their sworn dispositions. So I think that they need to see what is being said, and then we'll just cut it short for today because I am submitting to the doctoral record this week. So I want to make sure that I take care of my doctoral obligations.
Got you. So we'll definitely make sure we tap in later. I'll definitely be in the building.
I'll set a reminder too. So I'll try to go on a little earlier because I know I'll be killing everybody with the time. But
well, the niggas on the East Coast appreciate it. You heard? The New York niggas, we appreciate it.
I had somebody in the UK, they was popping up there. Like, I was like, oh yeah.
In the UK,
like 5 hours.
Even more crazy.
Yeah, because I've been in the UK, so they're 5 hours ahead of us. I mean,
shout out to my UK family, man. All my people from the UK. I know y'all in there. Yeah, but nah, man, I appreciate it, man, and we will definitely talk and learn some more later on tonight.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. Salute to
all right.
Now.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to cut her off so fast. I did not. But yo, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button for a real nigga on your way out. You are subscribe to the channel, man. FYTB TV. Fuck you talking about TV. And before we go, I definitely want to say, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. I don't know what's going on with this Norbes shit and URL shit as much as I think I do or would like to know. But I know this shit got me motherfucking tapped in. Okay? Because I see a lot of shit going on. I hear a lot of this shit. I see a lot of the artists complaining. I see a lot of, I see so much. It makes you want to pay attention. And of course, I want to know. I want to know who the fuck you saw. Nah, let me stop. That's why them niggas don't like a nigga now, you heard? That's a fact. But you know what's up when I'm rolling up. It's your boy Qua, FYTV TV. Fuck you talking about TV. And I will address this Harlem shit too with y'all because I know that's what y'all been waiting for. I see y'all in the comments wailing. I see that y'all niggas actually got me misunderstood. Y'all got me mistaken. But don't trip. We definitely gonna chop it up. We gonna chop it up. And we gonna get to everything, man. Shout out to my battle facts. I see you in the building, Black. I'm gonna let you know what time we gonna go live, man. I want you to pull up, man. We gonna have us, know what I mean? We gonna have us a real nigga conversation, beloved. That's a fact. We gonna have us a nice conversation, and we gonna let the people know what is and what's not. We gonna clear it up for everybody, and that's a fact, man. But shout out to everybody. Y'all already know. Salute to my real race. Shout out to my queens, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the motherfucking channel, nigga. And let's stay tuned to see the developments from this Norbes and URL case, man. Shout out to them both. You know what I mean? I would like see niggas come to a little situation where everybody cool because nobody want to see all this extra shit. We want to see the motherfucking battles. But we are here to see everything. You know what I mean? You pop up on my motherfucking feed and there's some shit I'm entertained by, nigga. Oh, yeah. Summer Jam Screen, you go. But you already know. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Later on, we going live. We gonna talk about Harlem. We talking Too Real for Battle Rap. We gonna get into everything, and I'm gonna explain everything. And we definitely gonna chop it up. But shout out to my real rights. You already know, man. Salute to the Queens. Boogie, I appreciate you for pulling up. Dr. Rosie, I appreciate you for pulling up and taking the time to explain everything to us and let us know exactly what's what. But shout out to them motherfucking haters. Hold on, one time for the haters, y'all.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck your gay-ass fairy faggot accent. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Yeah, I had to do that one time for the one time because I see, nigga, the hate is at an all-time high. The hate is at an all-time high. Hey, yo, Gay Depp, before I go, Gay Depp, go handle that business you got with them niggas that shot you, boy. Them niggas that buck 50 your shit, niggas that clapped your shit. You go holler at them niggas. Go deal with that beef first, man. Stay your little gay ass out my DMs, boy. You heard? Don't come around these pops no more. You know what I mean? But I definitely just wanted to say that to you, Gay Depp, because I see you got your little hate train with you. I ain't tripping. Easy at 5 tonight. Copy. Shout out to my nigga Easy. I'll see what's up with the algorithm boy later on tonight. See what he talking about. I've been waiting for him to pop outside like everybody else. See what's up with the what's up. You heard? But I definitely wanted to, you know, yeah. Stay on my DMs, nigga. You over here on some gay shit, boy. I am not gay. Okay? I am not gay. Okay? You take that shit to the bar. Matter of fact, next time niggas hear that your ass in the gay bar, I'm sending African Bambaataa for you. You know what I mean? You little funny looking big balloon headed Drake motherfucking, I don't fucking Hassan Campbell 5th grader looking motherfucker. Fuck you talking about? You over here, nigga, go holler at them niggas that buck 50 your shit. Over here acting like you want smoke, nigga. No, you don't want no smoke, beloved. You don't want no smoke, beloved. You already let that be known, nigga. And I got my new ID too, and it got a hat on it. But I'm so done with dealing with your little, I mean, like I said, you got that little hot air balloon head ass shit going on. You got the hello world on your mata. You ain't even worth it. And I know you clout chasing on the low. You think I don't know? I don't understand why you even, know what I'm saying, you even want to continue to bark up this tree, beloved. One thing for sure, two things for certain. I'm not going to continue to be naked, but I don't beef with no victims. I'm not, nigga, you are a victim. Niggas look like them niggas done clapped you already. Bink! Hold like down by the chicken, pussy. Niggas probably done smacked your ass in the gay club. You probably went back on the low, too, thinking I don't know, too. Knowing that I know, too. Fuck out of here, nigga. Grown-ass man walking in the gay bars, nigga, talking about, I was only in there for 2 seconds. And once I realized, well, man, listen. Go holler at them niggas that buck 50 your shit. Then maybe you could get next to a real nigga and I might make the time for you. You heard? Other than that, nigga, blow beef, nigga, and hold it down by the motherfucking shish kebab spot. You know what's up when I'm rolling up, nigga. Too Real for Battle Rap, nigga. We gonna talk about it later. But it's your boy Qua, FYTB TV, and don't y'all ever forget, nigga, I'm Mr. Fuck You Talking About TV. Salute.
Yeah, you know what's up when I'm rolling up. It's your boy Qua, FYTB TV. Fuck you talking about TV, nigga, and we ain't horse playing with nobody.
I done put in my work. I done put in my pay. I'm the head of my game. I done put in my pay. I'm the head of my game. I done put in my work. I done put in my pay.
Nigga. Why? Because I say fuck you talking about and smack you with one, nigga.
I'm the head of my game. I done put in my pay. Wait, that black is the crippy. Getting drunk off the Henny. Loaded semi-automatic. Niggas want it static. Damn, I gotta have it.
A nigga Quad got tired of his ass. You know Harlem Legend, a frontin' ass nigga anyway. That was Quad shit.
Listen, Trey 8 handling business, flipping headshot right under that block. I leave you laying there over your digits like was coasting when I walk up. Tough toasting, I need a large cup. I don't talk much, boy, I bomb stuff. You better put your kids and baby moms up.
My gun told me that she loved me. Knife said I gotta eat. Walk through life incomplete. Nigga sold his soul, married to the streets. Big finger fucking on the trigger, drinking, living, killer. Can you see the picture? Demon told me nigga shoot him. Off the river, started shooting.
Shit you polluted, cushion a Cuban. Nigga just pass it, I gotta do it. I ain't really tryna be here long, snuck the long nose in the doings. HK been the shooter, homie, let's run down on this doula.